In a world full of SUVs, there are still some cars that are available and they're very popular. The 2026 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid, well, this is the longest running sedan that Hyundai has offered. It's a midsize sedan that offers great technology, engine choices from a fuel efficient all the way up to a performance N-line, and best of all, you get a comfortable ride at a very great value. Let's take a look at the 2026 Hyundai Sonata, and we'll cover the different engines, and we'll show you the interior. We'll take it for a test drive, and in the end, I'll give you my pros and cons. We'll talk about the competitors, and of course, the price. The Sonata has evolved over the years, and now it is very modern and very sleek and very futuristic looking, with these LED lighting all the way across the front, headlights down below, a very smooth, clean look across the front, and all the safety features are hidden right here behind this black area, and there's a front camera right here. What you're getting is state-of-the-art safety, and we'll talk about safety when we take it for a test drive, and it's pretty impressive. The profile of this vehicle is modern, it's sophisticated, and this is a huge improvement over the first version of this styling, which is a little bit more egg-shaped. It has now really cleaned up the lines. You can see from the side details on the marker lights. And of course, the all-season tires that are on our hybrid, they're riding on alloy wheels, and they're really nice and quiet, and you'll hear that in the test drive. The one reason people choose the Hyundai product line is the long warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles, and the only other brand that offers that is Kia, which is its sister company. And that makes a difference when you're buying a vehicle and you're going to keep it for a long time. But it also includes 3 years or 36,000 miles of scheduled maintenance, and that will save you a few dollars, and the competitors do not offer it. When you open the door inside the Sonata, you can see the super modern updates. The gray mixed with the tan materials, and that includes even in the seats. This vehicle seats 5, but what you're getting is a modern interior, and not all of the competitors offer that. Some of them are just a little dated, and they're all solid colors. When you're buying a vehicle like this and you're going to own it for a long time, you want to walk into it and feel open and welcome and modern and clean, and that the Sonata does. One important thing to note is that the front seats of the Sonata have more space than the Accord and the Camry, and the seats are more supportive as well. This gigantic two 12.3-inch screens are curved toward the driver, very driver focused. All the information you use on the multimedia side, or the gauges are customizable, which is nice. Clean vertical lines, much like that of the competitors. All of your climate controls are here and separate. Wireless charging, tons of charge ports all the way around, because ABC, you always want to be charging. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, as well as Bluetooth connectivity. Going into the second row, the space is quite equivalent to that of the competitors. That modern interior color of the gray and the cream, again, carries throughout the full interior. 2 child safety latch systems on the outboard seating. Armrest has built-in cup holders. There's no pocket behind the driver's seat. There is a netted pocket behind the passenger seat. 2 USB-C charge ports down below, and 2 vents behind the center console. Again, more of that two-tone coloring. One nice feature, netting. Really good to have when you have someone in the back seat, especially a child who doesn't want that light blinding them, especially babies. This is a really nice feature. There are grips to pull you out of the car on all 4 seating positions, which is a nice feature, especially because this vehicle is a little lower than that of an SUV. And sometimes that's the reason people go to SUVs, is because they can't get out of a car, and this will help pull them out. There's also lights behind each of the arm pulls. Overall, pretty spacious back here. Under the hood is a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine, or a thrifty hybrid. 191 horsepower, 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine is standard, backed by an 8-speed automatic transmission. Or a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with 1 electric motor. This is the hybrid choice. Combined, it's 192 horsepower and backed by a 6-speed automatic transmission. No CVT here, which is a major plus over the competitors. If you want more power, go to the 290 horsepower turbocharged 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine, and that's available on the N-line. Yes, it's a little bit more money, but it's a lot more fun to drive. 0 to 60 time on our hybrid engine is 7.8 seconds, and it earns a huge 44 miles to the gallon in the city and 51 miles to the gallon on the highway. It's available front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Coming around to the back of this modern sedan, you've got a little bit of a wing, and all of this little notches here are for airflow. You want to get this vehicle to have the best fuel economy, and that has to do with airflow and cutting through the wind, especially on the highway. LED lights all the way across the back are much like that of the Ioniq line, which is their electric vehicle. Sonata across here, matte silver, very clean and modern, very nice all the way across. Now, getting into the trunk. 16 cubic feet of storage. That's a pretty good sized trunk, pretty equivalent to the competitors. To fold down the rear seats, you just pull this right here. And now you've got a 60-40 split, especially if you need the extra space, but it's a great place to hide packages, especially if you're shopping, because with an open SUV, you don't have that security. Underneath this cover, there's no spare tire. It's a tire inflation product, which all the competitors have as well. One of the things that's super important about a vehicle like this is safety. And one of the things I like is when you put the car into reverse, you've got an around view camera. One thing that is an additional option, which I think is super important, is this 360-degree camera. This is fantastic. It would be so easy to back into something here as I got a bunch of junk in my driveway, but it's very easy for that to happen. So you've got your backup camera, you have a forward camera, and all of that is part of standard safety. And by the way, 5-star crash test rating is the top rating for safety for the vehicles. And NHTSA, National Highway Traffic Safety, it has earned that. So I always say get all the safety because you can't add it later, and those are the kind of features that you really want and need. As I was saying as we walked around the car, there are 3 different engines. I like the hybrid. I think it's one of the best choices because you're getting the best of everything. You're getting the electrification, but you're also getting good fuel economy. And that's where this vehicle truly shines. And these days, even though the cost of gasoline has dropped, why spend extra money at the pump when you can put it into other things that you want? There's some really wonderful features that Hyundai has, as well as their sister company Kia and Genesis, is the cameras. When you look at these beautiful gauges across this gigantic curved center screen, you put on your turn signal, and that right gauge or left gauge, if you're going right or left, turns into a blind spot camera. To me, that is a top selling point on this vehicle. Everybody I know that's got into these vehicles, the first thing they say is, wow, that's fantastic. Whether you're changing lanes on the highway, you're turning around in any type of situation, using these turn signals will give you that clarity that you need so you don't hit something or someone. The interior of this vehicle is modern, it is clean, and I really like the fact that it's intuitive. Everything you need is right here. Your multimedia interface, super easy to use. You can swipe like any Hyundai or Kia. If you haven't driven one and you're thinking, maybe this is a vehicle I'm interested in, I highly recommend you take one for a test drive. It has a lot of great information here. You can even do Hyundai Pay, valet parking, all your information is here. But in addition to that, what you really need is the home screen, which shows you where you are and what you're doing. All those buttons are here for fast buttons, climate control, 3-stage heated, 3-stage vented, 2-stage heated steering wheel. All of that is fantastic. It's all right here. Wireless charging, USB-C charge ports, 2 of them. There's charging everywhere. But that's pretty much standard when it comes to the Hyundai brand. They know that people get in the car and the first thing they want to do is start charging. And I agree. I mean, I like to keep a charge on my phone. My phone is right now on the wireless charger. There's also a little area here you can put a candy bar, whatever you want. I've got a phone here. It's good to prop it up if that's what you want to do. Your drive mode buttons are here. It is Sport. It is, you push down Eco or My Drive. It does not change the screen here. It only changes the screen and the gauges in front of you. So as you rotate through, you got the My Drive, which is fun. And you can leave it on one of those gauges by going into the settings. Very easy to play with. Sport, you're really going to drive this in a Sport. It's a hybrid. It's about fuel economy. That's what you want. You want a vehicle that you can just drive and have good power, good pickup, good brakes, and good balance. And the Sonata does offer that. And remember, they have a lot of competitors in this class. It includes the Civic and the Camry and the K4. So really, there are only 4 cars to choose from, where there used to be a lot. And so that is pared down dramatically. And so I suggest you test drive all of them. And we'll talk about that in my pros and cons in the end. I do really like the materials. They're not real materials, obviously, but at this price point, you can't expect to see real materials, but you do see a nice change in materials. You're not seeing a solid color across the top. They've really had a designer do the interior of this car, and you can tell because it looks great. There is auto hold, so when you stop at a light and you want to take your foot off the brake, it rolls forward. I press the auto hold. There's also a camera that only works at the intersection. It's not going to work while you're driving, but if you do need to see what's going on around you, again, that optional camera is fantastic. You can see what's going on so you don't run over anything. Those are the kind of things that keep your insurance lower also, and that will add up. Good size, deep glove box as well. The seats are comfortable. They're not leather, let's be honest. At this price point, you're not going to get leather seating, but you do get Bose audio, and the Bose audio system is really nice. And again, that two-tone interior, really nice, really clean. Everything is easy to use. There's also memory seat settings here on the left. Overall, this vehicle is easy to drive. The one thing I'm hearing from people that own these vehicles is something you have to get used to is there's no shifter here in the center, which is we've all been used to all the way back. It is on a stalk. It is also your park is here, and your start-stop button is still on the dash. Some brands have moved it to the stalk, including some other Hyundai product, including their Genesis line. It's something you got to get used to, but it's not a deal breaker to me. I think what makes the Hyundai Sonata an excellent choice in the car category is these blind spot cameras. Whether you turn them on left or you turn them on right, you can see what's going on around you, and people like that. That is its selling tool for sure. One thing I have to thank Hyundai for is the interior of this car is quiet. The pair with this vehicle really are quiet, and that is a plus. It is so nice and relaxing in this interior. I had to put the chill music on just because you felt like you had to chill. All right, let's talk about my pros and cons, the price, the competitors, and if you want more car news, go to Car Coach Reports, where we have all the car news, and all the car reviews are here on Car Smarts. And don't forget to check out our radio show on AM, FM, as well as podcast. It's called The Drive Car Show with Lauren and Carl. There are some pros and cons when it comes to the 2026 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. I really like the design. Both inside and out, it's modern, it's clean. It makes you feel like you're driving something new rather than something that's just been slightly updated. So they've done a great job with that. Excellent technology, very easy to use, and all of those standard safety features are 5-star crash test rated. That's an important factor. The only negative I could find is the handling is kind of unresponsive even in the sport mode. It's not meant to be a sport sedan. If you want that, there's other products available in this brand or from other brands if you want a very sporty car, but the price goes up with that. Now let's talk about the pricing. Starts at $28,545 and goes up to $39,345, which would be the top of the line N line. This vehicle fits right in that spot where people are starting to look at cars because the average cost of vehicles has gone up. You're going to be around that $30,000 range depending upon how you'd like it optioned. There are only a few competitors, and we've talked about that as we've driven the Honda Accord or the Civic, the Toyota Camry, and the Kia K4. I have test driven all the competitors on our Car Smarts channel. It's important that you test drive all of them and then check with your insurance agent. That's going to make the difference. It's not just the car payment, it's also the value. And you got to make sure you're getting the best for your money. If you have any additional questions about the 2026 Hyundai Sonata, put them down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer your questions. This is a really great choice to consider when you're looking at a vehicle that is not an SUV or a pickup truck. If you'd like to support our channel, you can buy me a cup of coffee. That's down in the description, as well as all my social media and more details on the Hyundai Sonata. If you got value from this video, please like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.